It is that time of the week, that time of the month, that time of the day for another episode of Talk of the Day. I don't think I did this time of the day. Anyway, this is my second attempt at recording. Apparently, I started recording a couple minutes ago, and obviously, I realized I didn't have a microphone on, so I was talking in silence. I'm glad I caught myself before I got past the 10-minute mark, but it's okay. How y'all been? It's been a little bit. I've been in a funk, personally, and also, I did not get a podcast out in this month of September. I slipped up on that. I'm recording this on October 15th. My original plan was to do two this month, but that's not going to happen. I'm going to do this one. Because by the time you see it, it'll be the last week of October before November comes. Last month was my birthday month. I turned 31. And I don't know. I have been in a funk recently. I was wanting to do Spooktober, but then realized that I was running into OBS issues and it ticked me off. So I was like, fuck it. I'm not doing Spooktober. So I didn't do it. I did put my time and energy in other things that I don't regret doing, to be honest. And well, here we are today. Me getting back to the swing of things. It's okay to miss a month. Yeah, okay, I get it. But I'm not gonna let that be the new consistency. I'm gonna get back at it. Get back to getting this thing once a month right now. Doing talk of the day and maybe once a week, and that'd be great. If I can go, the goal is once I get this monthly thing down, I will go to bi-weekly, and then once I get bi-weekly down, if I'm able to, I'll go weekly, depending on what other projects are going on. If I have more projects going on, I'll keep it bi-weekly or monthly at that. And eventually, I would like to bring guests on here. This is kind of like recently it's not been that long. Like video episodes have not been that long, so it makes me feel like this is less of a podcast and it's just a normal me video where I tell you about something. So is Talk of the podcast? I don't know. I'm rebranding myself as a person, and I'm doing a lot of things differently, and I've taken on other projects, and I have taken on a not purposely taking on, but I am facing obstacles in this world, and it's been a there's definitely an adjustment period going on in my life right now, and it's not all bad. It's just pressure. It's like not like a sad pressure thing pushing down on me. It's pressure of life. You know what I'm saying? It's like I've not lost a loved one. I'm not given some detrimental illness that's gonna kill me. It's been a lot of things that happened that's opened up my mindset and weighed on my mind, and there's obstacles that there has been some lifestyle changes in this family of mine, and that's taken a toll on me as well, just mentally, mindset wise. Regardless, throw it out the door. I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm just looking to speak and vent out a little bit, if that makes sense. That's not what today's episode is. Today we're going to talk about monk mode, which has been made somewhat popular. I've discovered about it this year, and I have actually still in monk mode. And by the time this is live on YouTube and then Rumble, definitely on Rumble because I go to YouTube first. When this is live on YouTube, it will already be done because next Monday will be my last day of actually doing monk mode, and it's a 60-day period. What is monk mode, right? Well, the first thing you need to understand is when I discovered about this, I was like, well, that's interesting. It's kind of like going all in and whatnot. Let me take a quick drink of my bum pre-workout. You can't see the drink because this um, cup is white. White. Yeah, okay. This cup is black. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I was looking at the wall saying white. This is fruit punch flavor, which is really rare for me because I never do fruit punch. But this is the third time I've actually purchased bum pre-workout. I was gonna bring it in here and show it to you guys, but I forgot to do it. I forgot to bring it in here, so I'm not going to show it to you guys. Bone pre-workout's really fucking good, man. It's not super high stim. It's only 200 milligrams of caffeine. Um, as you can tell, as I've told you guys, actually, I believe I said it in the last podcast when I talked about brain health, that one of the things I've been doing is trying to cut back on the stimulants because I get way too much caffeine in a day. Pre-workout, I used to do 2, sometimes 3 scoops a day, man. And I've cut back on that. I did no scoops yesterday for the most part of the day, and I started getting sick last night. And like, I don't think it was related to the caffeine withdrawals, but I don't know. I don't know, man. So what is monk mode? Well, when I went into these little self improvement things, I found this little monk mode challenge. I made my own rules and restrictions for it, and well, I mean, I would. I want to talk about what I think you should do from monk mode, right? Uh, one thing that I did at the beginning of monk mode was journaling, and it was great, you know. And well, it's really good. Now, before I get into monk mode, I want to talk about my past 2 failed attempts. I'm coming up on the end of this, right? But this is actually the 3rd time I've attempted monk mode. The past 2 times I've done monk mode, but prior to this last time, I failed. Well, I wouldn't say failed. I would say I quit and decided to restart because I failed. And I think 2 of the biggest downfalls of that is porn. Because part of the monk mode is no porn. And I didn't realize how much of a problem I had with it. Heck, you can even sit here and watch an older podcast a couple episodes ago when I was reviewing everything. I talked about quitting porn. I did quit porn for a while, but it's kind of gotten a hold of me again. But I believe I'm coming out of it again because I've gotten more reasons why, and I'll talk about that because that's one of the biggest takeaways from this 3rd monk mode journey that I'm on right now. So I failed twice um at it. So I was like, well, and I think each time I made like 30 or 35 days in. It's usually, I think the first time I reset it, I was like 36 days in. Second time, I was actually like 25, 26 days in when I decided to reset it again. But I told myself this would be 3rd and final time, which is a lesson you can use because, like, you ain't gotta have perfection. And like, I needed to do monk mode, and then boom, that first time doing monk mode, I had to be perfect, you know? I was honest with myself, saying, okay, I've not really been, doing the monk mode thing correctly. Towards the end of it, I've got to restart. And then give myself a good reason why to restart. So I did, and then the 3rd time was the charm. I don't want to. You can look into monk mode to see what the official rules and regulations for those who made monk mode. I believe you should make your own and build off the framework off of it. You know. So when I decided I was gonna do it again, I used Notion, and I'm looking at that right now because I didn't take the time to actually review all this before sitting here on the podcast. I just kind of outlined it in my head. My rules and restrictions. So I made a page on Notion, which is a great app. You guys should check it out. Uh, I don't think my Dennis Rodman. Oh yeah, because it didn't work. I was going to say you guys can see it on my channel if you watch the Dennis Rodman podcast where I talked about his book. But I don't think my audio actually worked, so I think I took it down. And it was definitely in the 40s. And I believe, for the record, this is episode 57 of Talk of the Day. Talk of the Day podcast, I guess you could say, even though I feel like it's not really a podcast anymore. So for me, these were the restrictions that I set up for my monk mode. Okay, I decided I was gonna quit alcohol, and it's a 60-day period. And I kind of was like, yeah, I'll extend it out to 90. I don't like 60 days. It's not that long. But no, I was like, whatever. I'll just stick with the 60 days. And then at the end of the 60 days, I'll figure out what I'm going to do for the last 30. I could be like the extension period in monk mode, which I'm not doing that. I know what I'm doing. And I'll talk about that later. During this, I said no alcohol and no porn. Quitting alcohol is a whole lot easier for me than quitting porn. but I've done pretty good. When it comes to my mornings, when I wake up, I will not touch my phone for the first 30 minutes. And I've done pretty decent with that. Now I've actually extended that out to the first hour that I wake up. When I wake up, the first hour, I do not drink caffeine and I do not touch my phone. I walk around, I get woken up. For me, it's about time I get up, I have time to fix me breakfast, and then I got to get the kids up for school. So that's how that is. I'll eat my breakfast and I'll get the kids up, and then while they're getting up and getting out, do some type of chore to help me. Because for me, to get woken up, I got to move around. If I get up early enough, the first thing I'll do is go to the gym. But I kind of it's kind of hard for me to do now, only because of the no caffeine rule. Because when I go to the gym, I got my pre-workout. I'm drinking on it. If I can't have caffeine the first hour of the day, I can't be doing that, right? And I have a hard time working out with no stimulants in my body. I've been doing better now with that. I'm starting to get better with that, and whatnot. So, no alcohol, no porn. That's definitely my Spartan cutback. Meaning, like, what do you cut out habit wise to make time for these new habits I'm bringing into my life? So, I had to do that. I also deleted social media. I deleted Instagram off my phone. I deleted the Facebook app off my phone. I deleted Twitter, well, X, whatever you want to call it now. I deleted all those social media apps. Because I told myself, okay, well, really, if I needed to get on Facebook, I could still do it. I can do it on the computer, like MySpace, like the old days. Get on MySpace, I had to put it up on the computer. So, yes, I have still been getting on Facebook every now and then. It's just that extra barrier that I got to go through. It's not mindlessly just picking up my phone, going to my folder of my socials and clicking Facebook and scrolling. Okay. It's more like I have to open up Safari, type in Facebook. Then I gotta log in because I don't save my login. That way, that extra barrier is there. It's like I ain't got time to do all that. I mean, if I make the time to do all that and I'm on there just for a couple seconds and I delete it, and I notice that bringing it up on the Safari page versus the app is definitely well designed better and it's more intuitive and it's more easily accessible and usable than it is the browser version of it. So I'm not appealed to the browser version of it. I just get on there and see if there's any notifications for me. But in Instagram, it helps me. I deleted TikTok off my phone. I remember years ago I was always against TikTok, but I finally gave into the craze, and then I got addicted to it for a little bit. And, like, not as bad as my wife is addicted to it, but I still got kind of hooked into it for a little bit, and I was like, I can't be doing that shit. So I deleted it. The big three deletions for me, guys. So you got to figure out what you're going to stop doing. If it's smoking, you quit smoking. If it's, you don't quit pre-workout, quit pre-workout. Quit watching porn. Okay, yeah, great. And I feel like porn in itself should be a talk. Like we should sit down and talk about porn for talk of the day. Now I know I'm gonna probably have to use the word corn because I think that's a trigger word on the YouTube. The word porn, I believe, is like a trigger word. Anyway, so I got my caffeine restriction plan, which is I will not drink caffeine at a certain time in the morning, and I have to have a cutoff time. So and I changed my cutoff time. I started my cutoff time of caffeine for 6 p.m. and then I pushed it back to 4 p.m. now. So after 4 p.m., I cannot have any type of caffeine because I've got to get my nighttime routine down. I got to be able to sleep, And then I eliminate junk food, and I said I started that. That's kind of hard for me to do. Like I'm not big on junk food because during my brain health journey, it's like my relationship with food has changed a lot. So like if I see a piece of cake, I'm like, I don't want it. Even if I know it'll taste good. It's just I know what it'll do. It'll upset my gut. Brownies is a different story for some reason, but when I look at cake itself, like a birthday cake or any type of cake like that, it's like I don't desire it. Cookies, I still desire them. I don't eat them because I don't really eat a whole lot of sweets. My junk food pattern is probably more chips that I need to cut back on. So I was like, okay, first thing I need to start focus on is the sugar intake. So let me just cut back on sugar intake first. And then I work from there. My morning routine was, hey, I woke up and I already talked about it, get moving around, get doing some things. If I have the time, I will actually sit and read. I do these things called deep work, which is 90 minutes spent a day or something. I change the time. It depends on how much free time I have in that morning. So sometimes it's 60 minutes, sometimes it's 90 minutes. It's just determined. I mean, it just depends on what I have the time for. If I have a longer stretch period between free time, then I'll do 90. If I have something planned that I need to get done, then it'd normally be 60. But during that, there's no distraction. I don't have my phone. I don't. That's the meat of monk mode is what you do in that deep work session. And what deep work is, it's 60 to 90 minutes. Just no distractions. You don't have your phone. You're not on the other web pages. You just are zoned in, working only working on whatever you need to work on, whatever your goals is, whatever you've been procrastinating, whatever you decide is that big frog. The frog meaning the biggest important task that you should be doing, but also the hardest task, because you should always do the hardest task first. So you're sitting there and you're like, okay, this is the deep work time. This is what I need to do. I got this time. I cannot do any distractions until the timer goes off. And I'll set a timer. Sometimes I'll set it up on Google because Google's got it. Sometimes I'll set it up on my phone. And 9 times out of 10, I don't have my phone with me unless I'm using it for something during that 90 minutes. So I'll just pull up Google and put in timer and type in 90 minutes, which is an hour and 20 minutes. And sometimes it's just 60 minutes, like I said, and let it play. And then I'm in. Nope, I'm not going to reply to email. I'm not going to reply to messages. I'll have my watch, so if a message pops up, I'll know. Or if someone calls me, then okay, maybe that's important, maybe not, But that's all about going from there. And you get that 90 minutes is like what I call the meat of the monk mode. So your daily routine, read, drink water as much you time. Like for me, I would drink water and read. So after I got myself woken up, and mainly when I get the kids on the bus, I usually will either A, start with the deep work, or B, read. Uh, I'm reading a lot of books, honestly. I have a lot of books on my to read list. That's kind of took over my gaming time. I don't really game as much as I used to. I don't feel the need for it, and I cut out gaming a lot during the first half of monk mode. And when I did return to it, it did make it more enjoyable. But that's because of the dopamine stuff. And but I just don't have urge to play it. It's like, okay, I could do that, but really, if I don't do that, I work on this, I'm not missing out. That's always been a big thing with me with gaming. Like the reason why I would game so much, it was like, if I don't do it, I'll feel like I'm missing out, or I could have done this and I could have done this in the game. But really, on the flip side, if I've spent my time doing things more productive, you don't really feel like you're missing out anymore. At least for me, I don't feel like I'm missing out anymore. And the main reason for that is because I'm doing things that I actually want to do, man. Like I'm doing things that, yeah, they require work, but they're enjoyable. Now, of course, the bedtime routine is really great for me. I had to get into two things: um, prayer, and then the brain health winding down technique, which I'm not sure I brought that up. It came from Daniel's books. It's just like I think I did bring it up. Maybe I didn't. If not, if I did, then you're gonna get a repeat of it right now because I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's when you're laying in bed and you're trying to go to sleep. Heck, you're having a hard time going to sleep, or heck, you just need to just clear your mind. Just sit back and reflect on the day. Think about the good things and focus on the good things that happened with the day. And then sometimes, if I make it to that point, I'm not done. I'm not asleep. Then I'll just be like, okay, what am I grateful for? And then if I go through three things I'm grateful for and I'm still not asleep, and it's like, okay, how do I want tomorrow to go? Or, by then I'm definitely asleep. I usually don't make it to the second part. Heck, try to get 7 hours of sleep, but for me, I think 6 hours. And then they do say everybody's different, but I don't know. I used to use that excuse a lot. Everybody's different. I can function on 5 hours sleep, which I can. I've done it, especially when I was like getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go to the gym. Last year, it was last year. It might have been the beginning of the year. I don't remember. I think it was the beginning of the year that I was getting up early all the time in the gym, but with Sinister. But I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you about that. I'll just keep it generic. Try to get 6 to 7 hours of sleep every night. For me, realistically, 6 is what I normally get. Sometimes I can get 7, but it's kind of hard for me to get that. Another restriction, a rule I have is every day before I go to work, I have to do at least one priming. And the priming method could be different things. Like for me, yoga is a priming method because I'm teaching myself how to do yoga. I'm learning yoga, and it's fun. My power meditation, which I've talked about that before, affirming / visualization in a shower, that's one. It doesn't have to be the same thing every day. At least I think that. Cold showers at the priming method. Priming method to me is something that gets you in state and focused or relaxed. Heck, for some people, not at my stage of working out in itself could be enough. But for me, it's not enough. I have to think about certain things. I have to breathe a certain way. And heck, I've been working out for over 10 years. So, I mean, so I do at least one priming method a day. That could be deep breathing sessions, daily meditation, guided meditation, unguided meditation, yoga, cold showers, my power meditation, even power posing, which is like a technique to help you feel more confident about yourself. You know, especially in social settings. Visualizations while I'm in the showers, affirming, and binary beats. What it be? There's a bunch of things that can get you in the peak state. So priming method I have to do every day. And I had like these 2 things to remember as I go through it. Remember the rule of 10, which is something with you can be used whenever you're about to fall into temptation or give into an urge. Tell yourself to wait 10 minutes and then ask yourself how you will feel. So you make yourself wait 10 minutes. This is the rule of 10. So let's say, perfect example, I'll say porn. Um, if you feel the urge to watch it, first thing you do is wait 10 minutes, you know. And then the second thing you think about as soon as that, you're like, okay, I'm going to wait 10 minutes. And then sit there and think for a second. Or go do something else for while you wait. But when you're doing that something else, keep this in your mind. Okay, think to yourself. Ask yourself that if I do indulge in that behavior and it's finished, how will I finish? How will I feel for the next 10 minutes after I indulge in this habit? And then from there you go out from 10 days from now, 10 years from now, 10 months from now. How would you feel after indulging in it? And sometimes that'll make you get away with it. Because, like, every time that I would watch, you know, corn and then give into it, and let's say I bust a nut, then I feel like shit, man. And then I was like, that wasn't worth it. That wasn't worth it, Busted. But, it's whatever. I stopped doing it, and when I quit, I went a whole month almost. I went 27 days. I went 27 days porn free. And during those days, I realized that, hey, I can do this. I read Easy Peasy Method book, and it helps you shift your brain. I shift your perspective of it. I don't believe the book's as good as they say it is, but I believe there is enough juicy stuff in that book to help you understand addiction in general, that you can use it. Um, and during this journey, I also said, like, heck, maybe it'd be cool to be like an addiction specialist or an addiction counselor. to help those with addictions. Because my addictions run deeper than just that. I have other things that I'm addicted to. But yeah, remember the rule of 10, and also focus on one task until it's done. Don't don't freaking destroy yourself by going through it again. Oh gosh, sorry. Woo. Don't feel like you have to multitask. Multitasking is actually hard on your body. Not really hard on your body, but hard on your brain. And when you can really focus on one task at a time, you really train your brain to get out of the default mode network and to get fully focused in, you know. But I can't believe I've been talking for like 25 minutes. I'm still going. So that's what my rules and regulations for that monk mode is. And I am on day 50 something. I don't know. It's on my planner. So I'm almost done with the 60 days. I've transitioned it towards the winter arc, which is kind of like the same thing, really. The winter arc challenge is just definitely monk mode with a different name. And that's how I'm going to finish off the year. And then I don't know where I'll be after that. But yeah, I am going to get back into streaming. I will be streaming. I can't say that because I'm doing that before y'all even see this live. So forget what I just said on the streaming deal. Anyway, that's pretty much monk mode in a nutshell. I feel like you should make your own rules and guidelines, but really it should be built around the framework of you want to improve your life. You want to quit something, you want to do something, you want to beat procrastination, you want to overcome your laziness, you want to do something, you want to change something about yourself. And you got to get yourself the right environment to set up for it. And I feel like monk mode will help you set up the right environment and help you get in prime and mental state of building certain skills you need, like getting the focus, getting the patience, and getting all that together, and exposing yourself to taking action. Remember, action is the key, guys. Don't just read about monk mode and say you're doing it and then only do one principle of monk mode, meaning cold showers is all you do. No, it's what you do afterwards. Those are the things that get you ready for it, helps you de-stress, gets you primed and ready to go. And I talk about the first 15 days for me when I was doing the third one. I really built the framework of what I wanted monk mode to be. In day 16 on, I just kept going and going, and I had bad days, you know, and I had good days. And when I was in those 15 days of building the framework, I didn't really fully understand or fully have a big goal in mind. So I was like, well, the first thing I do while I'm thinking of this, I gotta have that time where I sit down and be bored to think about it, like what I want. And then if I still haven't figured it out, like, well, I gotta do something. So I really organize my environment. Like my house is a whole lot clean. You know, don't let this shit right here fool you. I know it kind of looks unkept and whatnot, but I know what's there. It's all shipping supplies. Uh, but I really organized my environment. It's helped us so much. And then as time went on, I started building my framework of what I wanted during month on. And I feel like doing all that's definitely setting up for a great winter arc. But I had to take that step. So your momentum will build the more you do it. And the more you understand yourself. So that leads me to the end of the episode. Uh why I did monk mode is because, well, I'm in a funk. I'm still in a funk, but I'm in a better spot now, habitually and more energetic. And a lot of things that I didn't think I could do, I did, and I did it quick. It's like I don't procrastinate as much anymore. You know, it's like you give me this task, all right, I'll do it. And sometimes I'll just do it right then and there. Sometimes it's like, I gotta wait a few days, and then it just depends on the urgency of it. I'm tackling the harder task first, and it's so much better when you do the big hard task first, man. It sets up a whole lot better tone for the rest of the day, getting that out of your mind, getting it done. Uh, but I don't know. I don't know. My challenge is you to create your own monk mode and do it. can find other frameworks from monk mode to help you build off a base by watching other people's monk mode videos. Honestly, I don't want to go over the standard. I'm telling you what I'm doing, you know. But yeah, my back's getting against the wall, but I'm still fighting forward. I'm still pushing. I ain't gonna quit. And hopefully get back on track. I'm gonna try to get out in the podcast in November. I think I might talk about corn, you know, porn. Come on, let's be real. But it's gonna be called corn. I'm not gonna put out porn in the title. So I'll talk about corn and the effects of it, I think. I might not even talk about that. I'm not quite sure what I want the next topic to be. But whatever it is, you'll see it on the next episode of Talk of the Day. Thank you for spending these last 30 minutes with me. Enjoy your week. Enjoy your month. Do the challenge. What's your monk mode going to look like? And do it. But please keep in mind the deep work part is something that should definitely be in your monk mode, because really that's the meat of it. It's because that's in that 90 minutes, that's the action time. So if you take anything out of this video and you don't even want to do monk mode, what you can take out of this video that you should apply to yourself is the word deep work sessions. In 90 minutes, and during that time, if you can't commit to 90 minutes, do 60. And hell, if you can't do 60, do 30. But start somewhere. Start somewhere with the growth mindset that, hey, as I get used to this, I'll add more time. I don't suggest going over 90, because that's like peak performance. After that, you need some type of relaxation, some type of break, a brain break. Because hell, you could do 90 minutes and take like a little break, like an hour or so, and then do another 90 minutes. But I'm not even at that level. And I'm not better than you, and you're not better than me. I mean, I agree. But the more you do something, the better you get at it. And in terms of deep work, if I was just starting deep work, I couldn't do more than 190. Be no way. But as I've gone through this monk mode journey, I can do that. I can do 90 minutes. But hell, I don't even think I can still take on 90 minutes right now. I could maybe do 90 minutes and then another 30 later, or something like that. But you got to build on what you have, or what you've been doing, because that's what leads to change. So the question of the day, I got a question, I got a challenge for you. The question of the day is, do you think people can change? That's something that I've actually been going back and forth with. Can people really change? I'll leave that with you guys. Can people really change? See you guys in the next episode of Talk of the Day.